Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 37. And a reminder to you, if you're doing super awesome in the challenge, kudos to you. And if you're not doing so well in the challenge, well, it's not the end of the world, right? This challenge is all about moderation and then keep going with that, okay? It's not about the highs, it's not about the lows, it's just about that moderation, and we just gotta keep moving forward. And we can't let anything, good or bad, bring us down, okay? Well, I guess it's unlikely that anything good's gonna bring us down. We can't let those bad things bring us down. We've got to keep moving. We've got to know that this is not something that you can really escape, right? This is just reality. We've got to start taking care of our health. We've got to start implementing habits that are going to be helpful to us. Regular exercise, eating real whole foods, and trying to get on some reasonable, ongoing, sustainable track, right? We've got to set up these habits, and we've got to just keep moving forward with it, okay? Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about being perfect. And things won't always be perfect. In fact, they're going to be really unperfect sometimes, okay? You're going to have injuries. You're going to have little things happen. Yesterday, I was deadlifting. I popped my back. Okay, it happens every once in a while with me. Probably every year, maybe every 18 months, it happens. It happened yesterday. Pop, and it's just like I have to literally just drop the weight, fall on my back, and then I'm like, okay, how bad is this? But anyways, I'm not going to get into details of it. So it's basically couldn't really walk that well yesterday, okay, but still went for a walk last night because I know I got to keep moving. Especially when you have any kind of injury, you got to, for the most part, you got to keep moving right away. And then today it's surprisingly actually much better. I certainly couldn't do anything bent over for that matter, not at least holding myself. But I know it'll get better. It'll take a couple days, and then I'm going to have to go a little easier on certain movements. But this is just the way it goes, right? The whole point of what I'm saying is things will come up. Things will be discouraging. Yesterday was discouraging, obviously, goes through your mind, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should, maybe this is telling me something. But just inevitably in life, especially whenever you're working towards whatever, you're going to run into obstacles. And you just can't let that bring you down. Whatever those obstacles may be, whether it's mental or physical or environmental, right? Whatever, right? People around you, you've got to keep moving. You've got to keep doing what's best for you. All right, yesterday we talked about fats and oils for cooking. We talked about, a number of fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, ghee, and maybe some others for cooking. Ultimately, what we want to stay away from are, the hard fast rule when it comes to cooking oils is even though a lot of seed oils are going to be okay for cooking, they're not good for your consumption. So just stay away from seed oils altogether. For cooking, stick with the ones I talked about yesterday, okay? There may be some other ones, I'm sure there is, but you'll be fine with the ones that I mentioned yesterday. Now, in terms of fats that you can just consume, the ones that aren't heated, well, obviously the ones I talked about yesterday are going to be okay. In addition to that, you can get away with basically eating, or I tend to recommend to people eat any kind of saturated. Yes, that's right, saturated. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. Okay, you can eat any kind of saturated fat or monounsaturated fat. Those are really the fats we want to look for. Fish oil is actually a really good fat to eat. That is polyunsaturated, by the way. We don't need a lot of it, but it has characteristics to it that, above and beyond the fact that it's polyunsaturated, it has certain characteristics to it that are important for your health. So having a little bit of that is okay. It's not like you have to avoid polyunsaturated altogether. In fact, you won't be able to do that. But we don't need a high amount of polyunsaturated fats. We never had a high amount throughout our history as we evolved. Or at least it doesn't look to be that way. It would be very unlikely. And so it's not really something that we want to start implementing into our regime, especially from the fact that polyunsaturated just basically means that there's many double bonds. And if you have a chemistry background, you'll have an understanding that with more double bonds comes the fact that it can now interact with more, or it's more unstable essentially. Okay, more things can bond to it. And this is not a good thing. Okay, it makes it more reactive. We don't want that. We want stable fats. Okay, saturated fat's actually the most stable fat. No double bonds. Okay, monounsaturated, there's only one double bond. So those are going to be better fats, better sources of fat. So what in particular are we talking about here? Well, let me actually just look at my spreadsheet here. So when we're talking about polyunsaturated, we're looking at things like pretty much all your seed oils, soy, corn, sunflower, safflower, cottonseed oil, grapeseed oil, etc. You stay away from those. Stick with more of the fat that comes from fresh fish or grass-fed meat, and of course your non-animal sources, whether they are nuts or nut butters. Okay, so whatever it is, natural peanut butter, almond butter. Costco's got a great nut and seed butter. I really like that one. So pretty much any of your nuts, and nuts are really great. Especially if you eat raw nuts, they're high in a lot of nutrients, a lot of minerals, some vitamins, fiber, etc. So, and of course a great source of fat, and antioxidants as well. So, make sure you incorporate lots of raw nuts. Avocados are a great source of fat to eat as well. Anything else here that I mentioned? Coconut oil, very, very good. So just really try to avoid the polyunsaturated PUFAs. Okay, you'll hear that thrown out there a lot, PUFAs. Polyunsaturated fatty acids. Stay away from your PUFAs. Stay away from your seed oils, generally speaking. Okay. 7 minutes. Okay, let's see. What else do I have here? There was another great question. I did read these in advance. Let's see here. 7 minutes. This person writes, okay, how many resistance-based workouts did you do? 5. Holy moly. Okay, that's good. How many cardios? Only 1. All right. Well, at least you got 6 sessions in altogether. That's pretty good. This person writes, I appreciated the check-in chat very much. Having pain is a big losing motivation for me. So figuring out ways to improve and increase my cardiovascular health is something I continue to struggle with. So starting with daily lunchtime fast walking is the way to move forward for the following weeks. This is awesome. Yes, just do that. Again, is it perhaps exactly what I want? No. Okay, but so what? Is it going to help you to get is it going to help you get moving? Obviously. So this is what, these are obviously great steps forward to potentially building you up. And even if you just stay here, but you maintain this is going to be major. This is going to be very, very helpful to your health and to your well-being. The number one thing I can suggest, and I just talked about it with the injury that I had yesterday, is we can't let these things bring us down. We can't let it lose. Don't let it speak to you in such a negative way. You've got to just tell yourself that through your road of whatever you're working towards, you are going to hit bumps and hurdles, and you're going to get sidetracked, and you're going to have negative thoughts. All this stuff's going to happen. You're going to have signs that point that maybe you shouldn't do this, or you're not cut out for it. That's just the way it is, especially the more that you try and the more that you try to implement. You're just going to have these things. So we just got to keep going. Okay, we've got to figure out ways to get around things. We've got to figure out, for example, for myself, tomorrow I got a list of exercises I have to do. Okay, and one of them is bent over row. I can't do that tomorrow because of my back. I won't be able to do it. So I'll do a self-supported row. There's a way to work around it. I'll do a it's not self-supported. I'll do a supported row. Okay, so I don't have to stabilize myself with my lower back. That's just an example of being able to work around things and just moving forward. Okay, always look for ways to move forward and always try to look on the bright side. I realize it sounds super trite, but I can't stress it enough. Okay, because ultimately life is more than anything mindset. And it seems that I realize that more and more as life just goes on. It's all about mind, how we choose to think about things, right? It's all about perspective. All right, okay, so let's get the message of the day because I'm already 10 minutes on this day. 37. Action beats anxiety, motion beats meditation, and work beats worry. All right, it basically all I'm saying is you just got to get to it. Don't think about it and just get moving. Get to it and get moving. Okay, I'll say it one more time. Your action beats anxiety, motion beats meditation. Not that meditation is bad, but we got to get moving. And work beats worry. Just get moving, get to it, and you'll be much happier. Okay, especially during the starting of it is always the hardest, right? It's like always the beginning of whatever it is, cardio in the morning or whatever. It's always that first few minutes, and then once you get going, it's much, much easier. Okay? Just get to it and do it. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.